Hello, beautiful. So if you have been watching this series where I am creating the ultimate Bible study binder, then I wanted to share some more things with you today. I had showed you in the last video how I pulled this book entirely apart, and I am preparing for our next Bible study in our Bible study group, which, by the way, it's so affordable right now to go through that study either by yourself as a member or with the group. It's up to you, but it's only $10 a month. And this is November of 2024. I don't know how long it will stay that way. So it is a really good time to join. But what I wanted to tell you is I tore out all these pages and then I had to print this one because I had messed up on the other one. And so I only printed this page, I think the second one too, maybe. And I highlighted and it didn't bleed my ink. So if you have inexpensive ink or you're part of the HP Insta Ink program, then you may want to consider printing them as you need them. I want to have them all ready to go, but I may print some of them only because you can buy this printable version of this Bible for a lot less money. And if you print them yourselves, there's still, I mean, you have to, okay, here's the thing. You have to buy good printer paper. This piece isn't the best, but it's still thicker than cheap printer paper. And so it worked. It really worked. And so I was able to highlight. There was no bleed through. Mine want to almost bleed through when I press too hard, but they don't. And so this worked by printing it myself. So you can do it either way. Now, that being said, I want to show you what I'm going to do with the cover. So I intend to do the entire New Testament. I was originally kind of looking at doing them like this temporarily. And then when I put it in the notebook, I thought, oh no, this is actually really easy to work with. So let me show you. First of all, I only have the Gospels in here right now. So I will add all of the Acts and all of the letters and Revelation to the back of this. And then when you start adding extra things, which is why I want it in a binder and not spiral bound, when you start adding extra things, it's going to thicken your book, okay? So this particular binder, I got at a thrift store, and it's probably 2, 3, it might be 4-inch, it might be 5, I'm not really sure. I'm terrible at guessing. It's probably 4-inch, yeah. So it's pretty big. Check your thrift stores because people get rid of these and they're expensive. All right, so I'm going to put as little as possible in here, right? So I'm not going to add this. I don't need it. I'm throwing it away. I am going to add this page so I know the page numbers, but I'm going to mark my books. Now, that being said, I'm not going to add a file folder in between these pages because I don't want to add any more bulk than I have to. So this is the book of Matthew. So I'm going to be using these Mr. Pen. If you watched a previous video, I was using some like colored tabs. Maybe I showed you that. And they just weren't very sturdy. So I got these Mr. Pen ones. And I'm going to find my Gospels. Where are they? Where are they? Yes, baby love. Huh? I will in just a minute, okay? So I'm going to find Matthew. And what I'm going to do then on Matthew's page, so this is just where Matthew starts on this side, okay? So I'm going to take the second page, I think. And I'm going to put this right here on the edge of this, okay? I'm going to close it over it and put it down. That way I'm not adding, can you see it? Any extra bulk to it, okay? But I'm going to have my tabs in there, which is going to be excellent. The next thing I want you to know is I could take this and try to stuff it in here, but then it wouldn't say that this book was for my entire New Testament. And so I created some covers for you. They're absolutely free. I'm going to give you the link below. This is the one that I chose. I printed it without borders. I printed it in top quality, and I have it on cardstock. I might get some 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, put it behind it, but I'm not sure. I kind of like this. So let's see what it looks like in here. I haven't put it in yet. Oh, maybe I just like the simplicity of that. Oh, I love of it. See, and you won't be able to see these tabs unless you open them up. But it's bulky. If you're going to take it somewhere to do a Bible study, you may want to just take a little 1-inch binder and take out the book that you're working on. But I did want to show you another thing. Because we are going to be working through the book of John in my group, I want to show you some pages that I've created for this that you can get if you sign up for the class, okay? So, first of all, this is a background sheet. This is new because the one that I sell that's in the book form, you can't tear them out and add them to different books because they have one side from one book on the other side of another book, if that makes sense. So what I've done here then is created a background sheet that's very small. It fits it. You print it landscape. It fits right in here. And then on the back side is just some really light dot grid to add extra things. And I probably won't even write on this because this paper was a little thin. I have some better paper coming from Amazon, but the better paper won't quite show this ink through so much, but I'll probably put Post-it notes on this. Now, Post-it notes aren't really thick, and I just got a new pack. Let me show you from Amazon. Don't fall off that chair, baby girl. I got these, which are great because they're lined and they're really pretty colors. So I may use some of these to stick my notes on the back of this where the dot grid is. And then another pack that I got was this one. And I don't have these yet. I have the other color palettes and I love these. Ooh, there's even more. I use these all the time. So I'll link these things for you and the paper that I have coming, hopefully today. But this will be available in the John class, okay? And then I do videos every week showing you what I mark up and how I mark it up and why. And then each week we have a chapter mapping option. Now you may have a chapter mapping book, but this narrows it down into one sheet. And the reason for this is because I don't want to put 4 or 6 sheets of paper, whatever it is, in between all of the ends of the chapters. Now this Bible does not always end in a good place. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. Chapter 1 ends here and chapter 2 starts here. So I just chose to stick my chapter mapping in between the two. Okay, so don't worry if it's going to kind of lead into the other page. That's okay. And then in the book of John, we're also looking into the titles of Christ. And I may be doing some of these videos on YouTube, but we're studying each week. We're going to study a title of Christ, and there's 21 of those. And then each week we're going to be studying a topic, whether it's a character or a place or a miracle of Jesus. John did 7 miracles. He calls them signs. Or John didn't. John wrote about Jesus's miracles, and Jesus called them signs. And so we're going to be doing that there very simply. And then again, on the back, it has extra paper in case you need to, maybe even perhaps you could put it in this way. Let's say that on your chapter mapping, you needed some more paper because you wanted to write more cross-reference verses. You could write on one of these if you wanted to, step 5 of your chapter mapping. So this, you could put a little 5 and then add your extra verses in there and do it like that. So the reason why I did them sideways instead of up and down is I was just thinking that I could flip my book open and write without having to take the page out, okay? So removing and adding pages in this is exactly why I wanted to use the binder instead of these little things. Now, I don't think the whole Old Testament will fit in one of these, but I also don't study in depth the whole Old Testament, so it might. Right now, I've got book 1, 3, and 4, so I'm just missing the history books. So let's stack them up here. They're pretty thick, but look they fit. I might end up using 2 for Old Testament. We'll see. I think I have 3 of these binders, but like I said, you can buy them gradually. This is going to put everything in here. I also want to have another binder that's going to have all of the tips and instructions and anything that I've learned, any of the resources on my website that tell me how to look for clue words or anything like that, I'm going to put in another binder for how to study the Bible. And I'm going to put chapter mapping instructions. That is where I can take things like this and put it in. And if I don't want to mess up the other side of this page, I can make a copy of this and add it to the book. So for instance, whoop, I don't mind having this page in there, but even this is like really, this book is so good, you guys. Can I just tell you, this book is so good. I love this book. It's so pretty, but it has such great instructions, and look at how fun it is. And you can use it in here. I showed you that in the last video, how you can tear those up. So if you didn't want a chapter map, you don't have to print this off. You could tear out one of the verse mapping sheets and put it in next to the verse that you want to map. You don't have to chapter map. So hope this was super encouraging and helpful. I'm going to design, whoops, that didn't stick. I'm going to design a spine for it too. And I'll print it on paper, and then we'll probably just cut it down the center is my guess. So I am going to do that also so that I know what it is when I put it on the shelf. It's big. It's a big guy, but it's going to be so cool to be able to add and remove pages as I need to. I think it's going to be super, super beneficial to my Bible study, and I can't wait to have it all organized and all in one place. You are beautiful. I'll see you in the next video, and I will link these things